I feel like I've been trying to record this for the past 2 hours, so let's hope that this one goes down. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to do a makeup related video, and I wanted to bring you guys a review and wear test on the new Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. Now this is not brand new, but it has been out, I believe, for a few months, but I just got my hands on it. I did get mine at CVS and they offered a whopping 20 shades in this, so I was excited about that. I do feel like you could get pretty close to your color match in that, since there are so many options with it. I guessed with mine, I went with the third shade from the lightest one in. So this is Soft Ivory. There's 2 shades up from this one. I couldn't find any information about what type of coverage this provides, so that's what we're going to find out in this video, among other things. This retailed for $5.99. It is 1 fluid ounce, which is pretty typical of your fluid foundations. Now, on Wet n Wild's website, just reading some of the description, it says, "Your Skin Only Better, our new high-performing skin perfecting foundation underwent major road testing under 7 different photo lighting conditions to deliver flawless camera-ready makeup every time." The bullet points are it's high-performing, breakthrough formula, it's featuring light adjusting complex to help prevent white cast in photos, and it's tested under 7 light conditions with and without the use of flash. Per their website, Wet n Wild says flashback occurs when particles in face makeup reflect light released by flash photography, creating a white cast in photos. Eliminating these particles combats that flashback. Now, if you guys are new and don't know, I do have combination to oily skin, so I do get oily through my T-zone. I do have texture on my cheeks. I have really large pores here, and I do tend to get dry patches from time to time. So that is the lowdown on the skin condition. So yeah, I'm excited to get started. So if you guys are excited and want to come along and find out how this foundation performs on my skin, you're in the right place. Let's go. Now, I've already washed and moisturized my skin as I typically do. I have already done my eye makeup and I have gone on with primer. So I'm going to go in with one side with a beauty sponge and the other side with my Morphe M439. This guy is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I feel like this is going to be a little light, but that's okay. That's what we have bronzer for. Oh, wow. The applicator is like a spatula. So that is just a wipe of the spatula on the back of my hands. Now for color comparison, I have swatched this Photo Focus Foundation against 7 of my other foundations in fair shades. And keep in mind, I don't typically go for the lightest shade. I'm usually 1 or 2 steps down from that. And also keep in mind that this is being swatched on the underside of my forearm, which is one of the lighter parts of my body. So my overall complexion now is pretty fair, so this foundation is going to be suitable for me at the moment. But throughout the year, these are the other shades that I tend to go through. So I'm gonna go in starting with that. Again, I don't know what type of coverage this is supposed to provide for me, so I gotta kind of guess at how much to start off with. So start off with a little and then build from there. Let's just get into it. I do feel like I'm getting good coverage. It's definitely covering my discoloration on my cheeks really well. And the color is not too bad. It's pretty close to my neck. Sometimes it can be a little deceiving for me because I have redness in my face. So sometimes when I go in with my foundation, it can almost look like it's too light at first, but then when I kind of connect it up with my neck, it tends to balance itself out sometimes. So I like the coverage. I don't feel like it's heavy. Not too bad. Pretty good color against my neck. That little amount that I put on the back of my hand went pretty far. It covered this side of my face. Not blown away or anything, but not too bad. Alright, so I'm going to go in with the same amount on the back of my hand, and I'm just wiping that spatula on the back of my hand. Whoa! See what I mean? Sometimes that can look like too pale because I have the redness in my face. Let's do the freckle test. Let's see if it covers this freckle. If you guys watched my review on that Bear It All foundation, I talked about my level of coverage test is on my freckle. I have a large freckle up here. I covered it all right. Not too bad. I feel like both sides pretty much applied pretty equally. I'm not crazy about how it looks on my chin. Let's see if I can zoom you guys in for that. I feel like I can see it kind of clinging to the texture or the dry patches that I have on my chin right now. From a distance, it didn't look too bad. Let's zoom you guys back out. All right, so other than it clinging right now to some of the dry parts of my face, I think it looks pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and I'll check back in with you guys here in just a moment. Alright guys, so it's 11:52. I actually liked how my makeup applied over this foundation. I still see it kind of sticking to some dry areas on my chin still, up here as well, and I do get dry sometimes up here. Now I did want to do like some flash test on this, so I didn't want to compromise the integrity of the foundation itself with any powders that could have stuff that could flash back. So I started out with this cream bronzer, the Sony Kashuk Undetectable Cream Bronzer. But then I decided to go over it with some of my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. For blush, I went in with the Wet n Wild Color Icon in Mellow Wine. I don't know why they call it wine because it actually looks like a terracotta kind of color. For concealer, I did my Age Rewind, set it with the Mineralized Skin Finish. Highlighting, I did the Wet n Wild Precious Petals. I did set my face with some setting spray, which I found out about this through Kara at Kara's Corner, so thanks Kara. This Wet n Wild I just picked up. She hauled it in one of her drugstore hauls real recent, and I really like it. It's kind of cute. It's called a Photo Focus Setting Spray, which this is a Photo Focus series. I really like it. It's affordable. I forget how much I paid for it, but the top has like the dial of like a camera lens. It has like the little settings for like focus. On my lips, I have the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in London. Yeah, so that's the rest of it. I mean, I already had my eyes done. For my eyes, I went in with, I've been on this big kick of the Morphe 25B. I've already done a swatch video and a dedicated makeup video for that, and I'll link those below if you want to see it. This might be my favorite Morphe palette so far. Just to sum it up, I've been wearing that one a lot. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and go about my day. I have just some errands to do, some chores to do. I will be outside some, and I'll keep doing check-ins with you guys like I've done before my other weird tests, so it'll probably be like on my iPhone. I'm going to try to insert some flash photo images so you guys can see what kind of flashback or the absence of any flashback that occurs. Stay tuned and let's see how this baby performs. So it's 7:40 p.m. and it's been really close to about 8 hours, real close to 8 hours that I've had this on. You'll have seen some pictures of me inserting in before this. As far as how the dry patches were on my chin, it got a little bit worse, not like too bad. I think from like regular like speaking distance to somebody, I don't think you could really notice it. It's just I notice it looking in the mirror. I'm actually surprised I'm not more like glowy. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. I'm gonna turn this light down a little bit more. It's a little more patchy than it was earlier today. These are my dry spots. And that tends to come from when I break out. I break out a lot on my chin. Either it's from a combination of stress, when Mother Nature comes. There's that. And then coverage wore off a little bit on my forehead. Right here. Around my nose. It has worn like funny and kind of broken up around my nose. Looking in my mirror that's a little bit further away, I can see where it got, I guess, like crusty or broke up right there. All right, so as far as my final thoughts, I've got to go with a like on this one, because I think as far as like the price for what you get a pretty decent product. And if you are on a budget or you just need something to have in your collection that doesn't rob your like wallet, this is pretty cool. The spatula is different. I don't have any other foundations that have that, so it was kind of refreshing because it was different, if that makes sense. I feel like it gave me a really high medium coverage to full coverage. The cons are I didn't really like how it smelled. It has a very much like a wall paint smell. Yeah, definitely, which can be off-putting for a lot of people. And I didn't like how it broke up in a couple of places, but it wasn't so much that I could see it like from a normal standing distance. So there's that. It did break up, but it's not as noticeable. I do feel like it did give like an overall kind of soft look to my skin. Although this isn't my absolute favorite foundation, I will keep it because I thought it did really well. I didn't experience any flashback on my flash on my camera. You can get it at CVS and Walgreens, so that speaks to convenience as well. Next time I will go in and powder it and see how it performs with that. I'm impressed. I think Wet n Wild has really stepped their game up and provided some really great options for people on a budget. So it's nice to have more companies that do that for us, because not everybody wants to spend, my light just got like really bright. Not everybody wants to spend 40, 50 bucks on a foundation. Sometimes you want to have a good quality product for a good price. All right guys, so that's going to wrap this up. I hope you found this information helpful and it gave you some insight if this was one that you were thinking about considering. Sometimes it helps me to definitely see somebody talk about it, somebody that's had hands-on experience with something. And if this was one you didn't know about, maybe this added one into your pile of wanna tries. What are some of your favorite budget foundations? Leave them below. Share the knowledge with the rest of us so that we can catch on to some of those favorites that you have. If you guys have any other video suggestions or any other foundations that you want me to try out, leave those below. Definitely interact with me because I read those comments, and I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.